And good morning. It is 8:30, and joining us in studio this morning, Sheriff Mike Herrington got dressed up for us today. Thanks, Sheriff.
Yes, thank you. Good morning.
How's everything going? I know you were just talking about the fire last night, and I think obviously your deputies and fire and everything been out there, but I think you were out there spending some time and seeing what's going on too.
Yeah, so the firemen and there's some pictures that I'll be putting out there here after a while on my Facebook page, but I'll tell you what, the firemen did a great job out there, going into something that's so dangerous out there.
Yeah.
And we pray for everybody who was involved out there and just hope that
for folks, stay off the scene. Let the professionals go in and do what they got to do. Take care of the fighting and the firefighting, and then of course if there's any other criminal, medical, whatever issues they've got to deal with, let them do their thing out there and figure out what happened and help as many people as they can. So.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, they did a great job, and from what we saw, it was very professional. Everybody was doing a good job, but it's like I said, that's just a job. I barbecue food, and just getting close enough to the grill sometimes will push you back. Just that little bit of a flame, and so to get out there and walk right into the middle of that is unbelievable.
So it was pretty hot,
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, when you're hundreds of yards away and it still feels like your eyebrows are singeing, you're like, that's pretty hot.
And they're right up in that. So they did a good job, and the deputies did a great job. So we just, like I said, we just pray for everybody who was there and see what we can do to help out in the end. But
that's at the sheriff's department, and really fire and EMS. That's what they do, and that's
good.
But be reminded, we've had red flag warnings almost every day. We don't today, but but we probably should have.
Should have, because the wind is blowing.
But the point is, we're seeing a lot more fires. Not just the wildfires, like you said. This is in city limits and things like that. So we all must do. And I don't know how this started or whatever. It doesn't matter. But with my message here, is it's super dry. Outdoor burning of any kind right now. If you don't have to do it, don't do it. And especially with the simple stuff like throwing cigarette butts out the windows while you're driving, or welding in like tall grass, or doing things like that. It's all bad ideas, but especially even in the city here, in your yards and things like that, please be cautious, because it doesn't take much for a fire to get out of hand right now. Even like Sheriff's talking about cooking and barbecuing and all that, that's great, but don't just put your burgers on the grill and walk away. Leave that thing attended. Someone just in case a wind gust, something. You never know what could happen around here. That thing falls over, next thing you're burning half the neighborhood down. So be cautious, extra cautious on this.
Exactly. So we've been busy doing that, but we've also been dealing with lots of car crashes here lately. Lots of people losing their life to inattention or other things. So we've got a lot of things going on with the summer coming up. There's going to be more traveling. We really want people to pay attention while they're driving. Focus on not only yourself, but on everyone else around you, because I'm telling you, everyone tells you, I'm a good driver.
Sure.
I'm the best driver. Well, yeah, you are.
Yeah.
But the guys around you aren't.
Well, there's been a lot of accidents. This one was in I think it may have been Chaves County, actually. It was on 285 earlier this week, right around Midway, that area. And that closed down traffic for, hopefully, I don't know the details, but hopefully there wasn't any injuries or major serious things there. But that's been more common over the last month or so here. And we just got to remind folks to be careful.
Yeah, and with more people now, like I said, once the summer gets here and the kids are out of school again and things are going, you're going to have more people out there on the roads, and it's just going to be more dangerous, than it is now. And it's bad now, because I'm telling you, driver inattention is, if not equal, more dangerous than drinking and driving.
Absolutely.
Because there's more people doing that right now. But that's something that we're dealing with. And, last night they were talking about during the city council meeting how there's growth coming to the city, businesses coming to the city, bringing more and more people. And with that, there's more traffic out there, and so it really is important that
anybody that drives up and down Main Street can tell you it's a busier
yeah.
street than it was years ago.
Yes.
It just is. It's
the same way. You stop a car on a traffic stop and you pull over. You're really taking a chance getting out of your car and walking up to that other car, because people are just it's their wall. They're just like in a bottleneck. No matter what road you're on, everybody is so compacted that they can't get out of your way. And we've seen that for responding to calls. We've seen more and more stuff. But so, yeah, we've got a lot of things going on that's we're going to start working on. One thing that we're doing for the sheriff's offices, I'm getting ready to go out and do meetings in the public where myself and the Friends of the Chaves County Sheriff's Office are going to set up areas and have people come out and talk to me and come tell me what's going on.
Some kind of community policing meet and greets, kind of, hey, talk about what's going on in your community. I would love to hear what you have to say.
Exactly. And one of the things that we did during the budget meeting, I asked the county to do the same thing like Lee County and Eddy County and all these other counties. They have a community involvement program through their sheriff's office where we take out a barbecue grill, we go buy some hot dogs, and the county will set up a line item that will allow that money to be spent to, people will come out and talk to you, but not like they will if you're giving them a hot dog and a bottle of water.
Yeah, it's so much more conversational, friendly,
right.
like
it seems
a couple neighbors in the backyard talking kind of thing. Yeah.
So when they come out, we like to get that done, and so we're going to be doing a whole bunch of that.
Good.
I've got guys that are very good at their community relations, and so we're going to be using them, and it's going to as well as myself and the undersheriff, and so we're going to be out there, and the goal of this is to let people know there's nothing changed with law enforcement. We're still here to serve you and protect you. The other thing is that everyone, watches the national news and they think every law enforcement officer is corrupt or on the take.
They put a spotlight on one bad egg, and everyone thinks that's the rule, not the exception, and that's not true.
Just like I tell everybody that I talk to about this. In every profession, job, I don't care what it is, there's some knucklehead that it just takes a little bit of time to finally expose them, and then they're going to be gone. But it's just it just takes time. But I can tell you, we're actively looking for that knucklehead.
Sure.
So if we have anything like that going on, I will deal with that immediately.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
and I imagine too, yourself and your senior officers there at the sheriff's department, they all been law enforcement officials for a long time. They know they can. I think you guys have a pretty good handle when you look at officers come in and be like, that one's going to be a good one, or this one's going to need more training, or that. You know what I mean? You guys after so many years, you kind of can get the feel of who's got the stuff and who doesn't, or who has the and so that's probably the first line of defense. But then again, it's one of those careers where. Integrity and everything's a must, but you do, let's face it, a law enforcement officer has a lot of temptation out there. If someone, you know what I mean? If it's easy, there's a lot of opportunities to be swayed.
Yep.
And so even someone that,
you better have your integrity.
Yeah. Officers are human like everybody else.
And one thing that we do with the sheriff's office is, and we're blessed to have the commissioners that we do, we have a camera system that is both in the car as well as on the deputy. And, we pay it's almost $73,000 or $74,000 a year for this system. And as soon as they get out of the car, cameras come on.
Yeah.
As soon as you turn on your lights, all cameras come on.
Gotcha. So they don't even have to set it and forget it. They just do their daily job, and the cameras kick on as needed. So,
and I'll tell you, they have been one of the best things that I
would imagine
put out. When cameras and everything first came out, everyone was like, "Oh man, I don't want people seeing everything that I do." And you're just. You got to remember.
I think most of us are thinking, now it's going to catch me when I'm eating my burger, pinking my nose,
using the bathroom,
all that stuff.
But the reality of it is that we now know not only do you have to have a camera, but there's cameras all around you. Just in these phones right here, everyone's got a camera all the time on them.
Not to mention, if you're in a, like, say, downtown, a city street, there's probably some kind of cams out there, if it's light cams or, whatever.
I hear guys say, hey, I don't want you to take a picture of me. I don't want anybody to know that I'm a cop. Everybody knows.
Right.
Just like we know who's running with what and doing what.
Sure.
After a certain amount of time, you're known.
Yeah. Your secret's not as secret as you think it is.
Yeah, exactly. So for us, you have to just expect to be photographed, and you have to expect that everything you do is going to be either video or photo. So it's no big deal.
And to be honest, it's like you said, that initial part. But here's what we're finding is, now that we've got some years under our belt here with these cams and everything, is we're learning that we're finding true. Because there's a lot of he said, she said type scenarios in law enforcement. A lot of those get fixed real quick when there's a camera showing exactly what he said or she said.
On both sides.
On both sides. And then on the other side, too, this is probably one of the best training tools you guys have to train your deputies, because everything is on recorded. And now you can look and say, what was done right here? What was done wrong here? What do we need to do to make sure it was done right? And God forbid if there's those ultimate loss scenarios or something where things go really bad. Now you've got an account of how it happened, and maybe prevent that situation from happening again. Yeah, exactly. And so it's all good. And then at the same time, it protects you, the citizen's right, for in case there is that moment where you have a law enforcement officer who's going over the line and maybe asking or doing things that you deem inappropriate. If that's the case, guess what? Now you've got evidence to back exactly what you said. And another thing too is the editing and stuff. That's a little that's all transparent too. It's not like because as I know people say, well, that's how much of the editing you video we did. It's like, well, there's procedures in place to allow transparency for that too.
And like I said, one of the things that we do is if someone calls in and says, hey, this is what just happened. We always want complaints to be in person. That way we can set you down, and we can also go over the video, because as soon as the deputy is doing it, and actually while it's happening, I can view everything that's going on. So I can turn on my ability to, in my office, to view the deputy doing exactly what he's doing right now.
So it does automatically, but if you just want to check in on someone, it gives you that ability to do that.
And it lets them know, hey, sheriff's watching.
Sure.
Or whatever. So, it comes on, it tells them that whoever it is, me, the undersheriff, or the lieutenants. But it's good to have, and we've used this whenever someone is out there saying, well, I know the sheriff, and then I come on, they'll call me and say, hey, this person's saying they know you, and they're doing this, and so I'll click on, and I'm able to talk to them and see everything that they're doing, and I'll tell them, hey, no.
Yeah, I know you, but you still did wrong, dummy.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. That's right. And that's exactly right. So it's a good thing, and I'm telling you, the commissioners have really stepped up to the plate since I've come into the office, being the sheriff. They, we got those cameras, we have all these other things, and it has been one of the best things that I can say that we have done for these deputies. Because if you're involved in a serious incident, rather than your mind trying to fill in the blanks, you can watch the video and see it.
You've got something to refresh your memory. You got something, and I imagine,
and it keeps the
I would even argue
the nightmares down.
Police reports and things are probably more accurate now because obviously they don't do the report right on. I mean, they start the report and everything, but as far as after all the excitement's done, they go back to the office and start filling out reports. And now they've got a video for anything that's, because let's face it, maybe they had 12 calls that night. Right. Now at the end of the day, they got to go in and do the reports for all that.
DWIs.
Yeah. And let me ask you this. Do you remember what you did at 8 o'clock in the morning yesterday? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So it is one of the, like I said, one of the best things we've done. And we just had our budget meetings, and like I said, the county came in and gave me some good things that we're going to use. One of those is we're going to get 2 brand new ATVs. the utility vehicles,
Sure.
And
yeah, because I imagine you guys spend a lot, especially when these fire seasons and all that. You're hitting places that they don't have much of any kind of road.
We just in the last month, we've had 2 elderly people that have either dementia or some other oncoming things, onset, and they drive out in the middle of nowhere, and we couldn't get to them for nothing. So my undersheriff and my sergeant had to walk in to the one individual, and his truck was buried to the axles, and there was no good outcome for that.
And some of these SUVs, they have 4-wheel drive and all that too, and that wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough.
You need the dune buggies, the off-road vehicles.
You really do. And so, and then not only are you dealing with the sand and the Chaves County dirt, you're dealing with snakes. So snakes are everywhere right now, and it's crazy how many snakes are out.
I think officers might have to wear those motorcycle cop boots that come up to their knees.
One thing, well, I'm not a snake fan at all, but so we've been dealing with that. So
just since we're talking about that kind of stuff, I'm kind of curious. And I know budget and all that but I'm curious is because we live in rural areas, and me growing up East Coast, it's more urban, so it's less of that. But since we do have a lot of no man's land out here,
right?
Is that, but I know this is expensive. Is there going to be something down the road, or maybe a county or city will have to invest in aerial unit of some kind to do? Because I know state police has it, medical, but if they're busy, I mean, is there going to be a need, or do you think there is a need for something like that?
There's always a need for that.
Yeah.
But one of the things, and I'll tell you this too. So I just bought a drone for $27,000 that is unbelievable.
Cool.
This thing is about half the size of this desk, and
that's a big drone.
It's a big drone.
Because we all think of drones, we think of the ones that like Radio Shack that are
And I told the deputy, we'll put one of them little harnesses on him and fly him around.
Now these are starting to sound like the military ones.
And the camera on it is they're about that big around. They're really maybe 8 inches, 9 inches, and then they are just huge.
And do they do all the like heat sensitive night? So they can, at night they can go and see
infrared.
Yeah, those
heat
signatures light up.
Zooming in, we were able to zoom up into. We were able to go straight up from the sheriff's office.
Nice.
And go 400 feet because it's 400 feet is the height you can go.
Okay.
So go up 400 feet, and we were able to zoom in to the car lots and check into the cars.
Nice.
I mean, zoom in to everything.
Wow.
It was crazy, and to see that. So. For us, it's going to help us on crime scenes.
Yeah. I can even see police chases. Like, say someone goes running, and it's down Main Street during time, when there's everybody out there, rather than send a bunch of deputies going 100 miles an hour, they got a drone follow him. It's like, he's going to stop somewhere. Let's get him to a more less crowded rural area and then meet him, and then we got him.
So we have that, and so for our crime scenes or whatever scenes we may be on, we can actually fly it up, get a good photo of it from the sky. You can also we have some smaller ones that we actually, when we kick open a door, we'll send in the little drones to go in and check out the rooms and everything that we are, if we're worried.
Therefore, it's a deadly threat. At worst happens, a drone gets shot, not a human being.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
that's great.
So we got these things, and I'll tell you that technology is unbelievable, and they have to be FAA licensed, my deputies, and so we're doing all that. We got everything going with that, but
I'm curious. We're talking. This is just me wondering about technology. Like, say for instance, because the drone has that heat sensing technology, does it have the ability to go? Like, say you put it over a house, and then you look and say, all right, the bodies are in that living room because I can see. I mean, is it strong enough to do that through?
I haven't.
Yeah, I was just curious.
So I don't know, but I know if
that'd be cool if it does, because
I
now
know
you
that
can
if you're outside, it sees you.
Gotcha.
If you're hiding underneath,
and that's just it. I didn't know what the I'm not smart enough to know.
I don't know about that either because I haven't tried that.
Okay,
but the guys who operate it, they probably could answer that question.
I'm guessing no, because because it's looking for heat.
Whole house is hot,
maybe.
Yeah,
but,
and right now with our sun, the roof itself is
that might be.
But
technology's
I
not there yet. So.
Yeah, and there might be. I just don't know that answer to that. But so we've got some good things, and I'll tell you, with technology, we are solving a lot of things. We're doing lots of good stuff. So it's just amazing, and I'm thankful for the county for allowing us that fund to be able to do that. Because we were at a time there where everything was really being held on to and crunched, and now they understand that there is an uptick in crime. There is an uptick in crimes against people.
Sure.
And we have to really be aggressive in our apprehension of these guys.
Well, and I think they get it.
Good.
They do. Our leadership gets that. Yeah. And let's face it, law enforcement, the ideology of it's changing, and how it's done. Technology is certainly playing a role in what you can and can't do in law enforcement.
Like your street lights having cameras and all these things. We're now having access to video cameras all over town that we can see things that, if we're looking for a vehicle that might have drove through.
Sure.
So we have access to a lot of that stuff. And the city does. City has a lot of stuff. So it's really beneficial to us investigating crimes.
Yeah.
And those cameras aren't put up there to spy on you. They're there for other reasons, we can use those,
And for an example, I've seen it used for like in large cities back east and things like that. Say you got an APB on a vehicle.
Yeah.
Whether it's a missing person or a criminal on the lam here. Those cameras and everything are constantly taking pictures and searching. So if that car drives through that intersection, it catches a license plate, it's going to red flag and let these guys know, hey, one of your APB folks just passed through this intersection.
It is crazy how many license plates a vehicle, that LPR, the license plate reader, can read and give you the information. You're talking over maybe 1,000 in a minute.
Yeah.
If there's that many cars coming by, it's going to get them all.
Yeah.
And so it's just technology is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And how it does it, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it can see
but
it.
It's amazing, and I've seen it used.
So stolen cars.
Yeah.
Vehicles you're looking for, whatever, or if you got something that has happened, and you may have a possible suspect. Now you can find out if they were even in the area. One, by pinging their phone. Two, by seeing if anything picked up on the license plate readers. So it's technology that is available, and we're lucky enough that we're starting to be able to get those things.
Good deal,
so,
but it's glad to see that your county leadership they understand that, because if you're going to demand your sheriffs and deputies to do a job, you got to get them the tools to do that, and they understand that, especially in the world we live in, where law enforcement's kind of like medical, where the technology and procedures are constantly evolving and adapting and changing.
Yes, they sure are.
It's one of those good things. So I just saw time. We only got about 2 minutes here before.
One thing that we're doing today at the sheriff's office, and also tomorrow, we have what they call Bless the Badge. We have a group that has come in from out of town that is there to, they're going to talk about how to cope with and deal with basically being a police officer and dealing with things, and their support groups, and their
so they're coming in and helping out the officers here,
and so we have been really thankful with them, and like I said, today it's going to be mostly law enforcement officers. Tomorrow it's for law enforcement officers and their spouses.
Oh, nice.
So
because the spouses are
dealing with
it's
more
like military families.
Yeah,
they're part of the team too.
Yeah, and they're dealing with more of it than you are. You think you've got it bad. Well, when you come home, sometimes
they're dealing with your issues and things. So, absolutely.
So they're your support group at home, but it's a good thing. So we're doing that, and we're getting everything going. But we plan on having lots of community events here soon. We're going to be doing the Veterans Parade, I believe, or the Memorial.
For Memorial Day here,
Memorial Day, and then I'll be out at the Memorial lawn out at the cemetery, and we'll be talking out there and doing some stuff. And we're so thankful for our veterans, and we're going to help them celebrate their service.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
We're thankful for
Which
that.
I imagine you got actually probably quite a few vets that call the sheriff's department their place of employment right now.
Yes,
including the sheriff.
Including the sheriff, yeah. So we just want to recognize that and say thank you for your service, and we are going to do whatever we can to make sure that all happen successfully.
Absolutely.
So it's gonna be
and
good.
come out and be a part. Come celebrate with us and honor those. Memorial Day, obviously, we honor those that have made the ultimate sacrifice. But we love to have people come and recognize with it. Not many, all of the freedoms you enjoy, everything that you have. At the end of the day, you can thank a veteran for because they're the ones who are cashing the checks that that people are writing willy nilly.
That's right. That's right. Well, and this last weekend we had the Cinco de Mayo put on by Hispano Chamber of Commerce.
Sounds like everything went well there.
Mr. Nava did a great job, and we just want to say thank you to him. And we made sure that went off successfully as well. So we're going to be involved in every community event that we can be involved in.
Yeah. So come out. If you see a deputy, come reach out, talk to them, and come out to some of their public, meet and greet events.
And I'm going to be putting that out there here pretty soon, and we'll be at some of the places where the kids are getting free lunches and cooking for them as well, and doing some other stuff. So,
well, thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
Appreciate what you and all you deputies do. Stay safe out there, and we'll talk again here in a couple of weeks. All right.
I'm going to make sure Charles is doing what he's supposed to be doing.
All right, let's get on Charles now. You better be working. Better not be slacking. We're going to check on you.
All right, good.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, it is 8:57. Quick break before news.